The chandelier in Reed Manor threw diamonds on the floor. Silver domes lifted. Steam curled like silk. Chefs in tall hats waited for applause that never came. Ethan and Sophia stared at the plates as if they were traps. "Take it away," Ethan said, pushing a gold-rimmed plate gently but firmly. Sophia didn't touch her fork. "Please. Not this." Mouths opened around the table. No one breathed too loud. These were Jonathan Reed's children, heirs with eyes too old for 9. Jonathan's jaw tightened. "Enough, you will eat." Sophia glanced past the glittering table to the corner where a girl in a faded uniform clutched a tray of tea. "We'll only eat what she cooks." Maria froze. She was used to floors, not chandeliers. 2 weeks in this house, and already standing where lightning strikes. Jonathan turned his gaze on her. "You?" She nodded once. "Yes, sir. From the village with the wind-beaten clinic?" he asked, searching his memory. "Yes." A chef stepped forward, wounded pride hidden behind a professional smile. "Sir, with respect, these menus are designed for nutrition and taste." "Fine," Jonathan said, eyes still on Maria. "Cook. Now let me see what moves my children's mouths." Maria's heart rattled her ribs. She had one recipe that mattered: vegetable porridge with smoked fish and scent leaves. The one she'd made when the twins were feverish 2 days ago, when they finally ate and kept it down. She reached the doorway and stopped, turned back to the camera above the pantry door. "Please, where are you watching from? Drop your city or village in the comments so I can greet you properly later." The kitchen looked like an airport, stainless steel everywhere. Maria washed her hands, chased the fear away with work. Knife small, onions bigger than her courage. Palm oil warming, garlic singing, crayfish waking up the house. 2 small shadows slipped in. Ethan and Sophia. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered. "We like watching," Ethan said. "You fold the leaves like Mummy did." Maria's hand slowed. "Your mum," Sophia nodded. "The way you stir, the way you taste with the wooden spoon and not the metal one." A shy smile. "Mum said metal." Maria looked down at the spoon in her palm and swallowed. She was right. Footsteps at the door. The head chef, arms folded. The other cooks pretending to work while counting the seconds till she failed. Maria plated quietly. No garnish tricks, no edible gold. Just hot, honest food. Back in the dining room, the twins took one bite, then another, shoulders dropping like someone took a stone out of their shirts. Jonathan watched their faces soften. His own didn't. "Where did you learn this?" "From an old woman in our market," Maria said. "She said a friend in the city taught her years ago. A woman who cooked like she loved people more than salt." Jonathan's eyes flickered. "Her name?" Maria opened her mouth. A phone buzzed on his wrist. He checked, face changing, chair moving back. "Excuse me." He left with 3 steps that sounded like a man walking into weather. Maria stood alone with the echo, the twins' bowls scraping lightly, and the head chef's stare heavy like rain. House rules said staff should be invisible, but invisible people still hear things that matter. Maria passed the study later and heard Jonathan's voice low and tight. "Postponed tomorrow. I don't like the feel." A reply came smooth as marble. "If you don't show, they'll call you weak. The Asia deal needs a face. Better a weak rumor than a strong obituary," he said, and the line went dead. She moved on with her mop, but her stomach had learned to listen before her ears did. That night, a folded paper slid under her door. No signature, just 4 words. "Don't let him go." She didn't sleep much. Morning came like a question with no polite answer. At breakfast, the twins ate Maria's porridge and chatted about a science show. Jonathan entered in a navy suit that made the windows behave. "I'm attending," he said. "To no one and everyone. Traffic will make me late if we keep talking." Maria's hand lifted before her mouth asked permission. "Sir, please. Don't go today." Chairs forgot how to make noise. Jonathan's eyes were knives wrapped in velvet. "Why?" "I can't explain it yet," she said. "But I feel no, I'm certain. Something bad is set for you." He chuckled without humor. "Feelings don't run companies." Ethan's voice was small but steady. "Dad, please," Sophia added. "When she says a thing, it happens." Jonathan looked between 3 faces that loved him in 3 very different ways. He exhaled. I'll be careful, that's not the same as staying, Maria said, shocked at herself. A muscle jumped in his jaw. Enough, he left. The house swallowed the echo again. Mid-morning, Maria carried towels past the chef's office and heard murmurs inside. She's getting bold, one voice said. Put her in her place, another answered, oily. You'll handle it at lunch, the head chef replied. Our positions aren't negotiable, she kept walking. She had learned as a child that truth steals through doors, gossip leaves open. Quick thing. If your heart is already inside this story, subscribe so you don't miss when it turns. It's about to turn. Rain gathered itself outside the windows. The kitchen grew hot with status battles. Maria chopped quietly, hearing the calendar tick and the city hum and the thin rope of worry pull at her. At noon, the mansion phone rang and wouldn't stop. A guard answered, face draining. Says convoy, ambushed on Glover Road, 1 car injured. Where is Mr. Reed? Someone barked. Missing, the voice on the line said, breathless and wet with siren noise. We can't see him. Every pot in the kitchen seemed to exhale at once. Sophia's scream cut the house in half. Maria ran. She found the twins by the door, shoes half on, tears full. Don't move, a security woman said, palm out gently. Let my team handle. Tires hissed outside, black SUV, doors flew. Jonathan stepped out, soaked hair askew, tie missing, eyes alive. Inside, he said hoarsely. Now, he saw Maria first. You, he said, pointing. With me, they walked fast. Past portraits that looked away. Into his private office where the heir had learned to keep secrets. Talk, he said, locking the door. She told him everything. The paper under her door, the late-night call, the chef's murmurs, the breakfast plea that failed. He leaned on the desk, breathing like a man who had outrun the kind of thing that doesn't tire. The convoy was forced to split. The second car was bait. They wanted me in the first seat with the signature pen. They thought I would be punctual. Who knew the route? Maria asked. He looked at the ceiling like it owed him an answer. Too many. He was still when he spoke again. My children said your food tastes like their mother's. Why? I don't know, she said. An old woman taught me. She said her friend moved to the city and married a man with eyes like river stones. She said love tasted like scent leaves and smoke. Jonathan shut his eyes. Her name, he asked after a long time. Anna. He opened them again. There is pain you hide and pain that refuses. Anna was my wife. Maria's hands found the back of a chair. I didn't know. He nodded once, as if something both heavy and light had dropped into place. Someone in this house wants me gone, Maria. And someone outside knows where my heart lets its guard down. A knock, not timid, not polite. The head chef stepped in with a tray and a frown. Sir, you haven't eaten. Jonathan glanced at the bowl. Who cooked this? Chef Patrick, the man said, proud. We thought, after the ordeal, Maria's nose caught it first, a sweetness that didn't belong to broth. She moved before her mind caught up, tipping the bowl toward the light. Tiny granules winked like poison, pretending to be salt. She didn't touch it, she just looked up. The head chef smiled like a door being quietly shut. Shall I bring the twins a snack? Leave the tray, Jonathan said, and leave the room. He did. The door clicked softly. Jonathan stared at the soup. Prove, he whispered to the air, that I'm not imagining this. Maria said, do you trust me enough to act like you're hungry? He smiled without his mouth. I've trusted strangers for much less. Evening came early, dragging a long shadow behind it. Jonathan announced a small family dinner on the garden terrace. Just him, the twins, Chef Patrick's special, and the head of household staff, a way to show normal. Maria stood by the hedge, tray in hand, eyes on everything and nothing. The twins were dressed in soft white. They looked like a prayer and a warning. Plates arrived. Steam. Polite words. Chef Patrick moved with the confidence of a man who knew the drill and owned half the cutlery. Smells nice, Jonathan said, lifting a spoon. Maria's chest shrank. He paused, chuckled, and let the spoon fall back with a small splash. Actually, Ethan, Sophia, let's start with fruit. You always say soup first, Sophia murmured. Tonight I am breaking my own boring rule, he answered, eyes smiling. Mine somewhere else, Chef Patrick's smile thin. A motion at the far end of the terrace caught Maria's eye. A busboy, too old for the role, too tense in the shoulders, hovered near the juice jugs. His hand shook. Something small fell from his cuff and flashed at the drain. Maria walked like a girl delivering napkins and knelt like a nurse picking up a dropped hope. A clear capsule, sugar small. She slid it into her sleeve. "Everything okay?" Patrick asked. "Yes, chef," she said, "just saving a bee from drowning." He looked past her, jaw tightening. Jonathan touched his napkin to his lips, pushed his chair back slightly, casual as Sunday. "Chef, join us for a toast to resilience." Patrick lifted a glass he had not poured. Maria watched bubbles climb as if counting sins. Jonathan raised his, "To people who think food is a weapon. May their menus never be printed." Patrick blinked. They drank. The twins sipped juice. Jonathan's tongue barely tasted. The head of staff, Clara, smiled dutifully. "Sir, your calendar shows a portfolio review at 9. Jonathan nodded. "Move it to tomorrow. Tonight belongs to my house." Maria's phone buzzed in her apron. Back corridor. 2 minutes. No name. No time for fear. She walked away carrying an empty pitcher and found Miller, the night guard, with honest shoes. "Quiet," he said, eyes flicking. "Kitchen camera feed shows loops from noon. Someone recorded yesterday and replayed it to cover afternoon." "Who?" she asked. Password came from a tablet registered to the head chef's office, but bounced through the pantry router. Woman's perfume on the casing, though. Expensive. "Not his brand, Clara," Maria whispered. Miller grimaced. "Don't know. Just know the loop started 20 minutes before the convoy left." Maria pressed the capsule into his palm. "Test it. What is proof?" She returned to the terrace to find Sophia pale. "My tongue tingles." "From what?" Maria asked, kneeling. "Juice?" Sophia shook her head. "The air." Ethan sniffed. "Smells like medicine." Maria straightened slowly. The warm lamps hissed softly. The frangipani trees swayed. Then she saw it. A small ultrasonic diffuser tucked into the planter, new and smug. She slid beside it, lifted the lid with a cloth, and inhaled carefully. Bitter almond tried to climb into her eyes. She shut the lid. "Inside," she said, calm as she could manage. "Now." Jonathan understood without asking. He scooped Sophia, took Ethan's hand. "Clara," he said over his shoulder, "call an ambulance to pretend to come, and real police to actually arrive. Say woo." Clara didn't move. "Clara," he repeated. She smiled without warmth. "Your calendar should have stayed at 9. Patrick's hand moved behind his back, a steel glint. Miller appeared like a door that refuses to stay closed, arm locking around Patrick's wrist. The knife clattered. Clara turned to run and met a woman in a dark blazer who seemed to have grown from the hedge itself. "Evening," the woman said. "DSP Afoma. I invited myself." Patrick spat. "You have no warrant," Afoma said, tapping her pocket. "Also manners, but I'll use the first for now." The twins clung to Jonathan's sides. Maria stood very still, hands empty, sleeves sweaty, heart loud. Patrick tried to buck. Miller's grip tightened. Afoma's eyes memorized faces. "Chef first," she said, nodding. "Then anyone who signed his invoices. Clara, where were you between 11:45 and noon?" "In the pantry," Clara said too quickly. "Which was looping camera feed," Afoma replied, as if noting a tasteless garnish. "How convenient." Jonathan exhaled like a man swallowing a mountain. "My children need clean air inside," Afoma agreed. "My team already cleared the vents." Ethan tugged Maria's hand. "Please don't go far." She squeezed his fingers. "I'm here." They moved through the hall that smelled of lemon oil and worry. Portraits watched them pass with painted kindness. Halfway to the drawing room, Maria stopped. "Sir, your wife's recipe book. Where is it?" Jonathan blinked. "Why?" The market woman said the friend wrote everything down. "Not just food," she swallowed. She wrote people. Who to trust. Who to keep in the kitchen and who to keep in the yard. His face changed. Library. Second shelf. Red spine. Maria ran. The library wore silence like velvet. Maria found the red spine with trembling hands. Anna, simple gold letters that had learned to keep their voice down. She opened to a page with oil stains and small, quick writing. Metal lies. Use wood. When scent leaves smell tired, the fish is wrong. When Clara smiles twice, something is missing. Her eyes snagged on the name. Clara. Written again on another page. Clara is efficient. Clara remembers. Clara resents the twins for being living proof that love can exist where salary does not. Watch the pantry when she is promoted. Maria's stomach turned. She took photos as fast as her hands allowed. She flipped further. Recipes bled into records. Patrick knows knives but not people. He copies, not creates. If he asks to source herbs himself, say no. If Jonathan trusts a man because he shares a last name, remind him that blood and loyalty are different recipes. Behind her, the floorboard whispered. Clara's reflection appeared in the glass of a framed landscape, smiling like a cracked plate. You shouldn't read private things, Clara murmured. Neither should you loop cameras, Maria said without raising her voice. Clara's eyes cooled. You think because the children like your village stew, you are untouchable. Houses like this eat girls like you for late supper. Then chew quietly, Maria said. People are sleeping. Clara moved first, quick and mean. Maria stepped aside, the book heavy and ready. The spine met Clara's wrist. Papers flew. A small device slid from Clara's sleeve and clinked on the rug. Miller appeared again, as if the house itself sent him. He pinned Clara's other arm with a tired sigh. Madam, please. Ifoma took the device with 2 fingers and slipped it into a bag that looked bored. Signal Jamar, she said. No more phone calls for your friends. Footsteps thundered. Jonathan at the door, twins behind his legs, eyes bright and frightened. He saw the book in Maria's hands, and something inside him sat down, finally, after years of not. Anna, he whispered, taking it like he hadn't held anything fragile in a decade. Ethan pointed. Mom's writing. Sophia traced the indent with a finger too small for that much tenderness. Ifoma scanned a page. Your late wife didn't just cook, she said. She documented. I like her. Clara's mouth folded into shapes that didn't help her. You can't prove, a voice from the corridor cut her off. The head chef, escorted, shoulders low, face old. I'll talk, he said. It wasn't just me. In the drawing room, truth lined up like plates waiting for heat. Patrick admitted he took money to add powder, that Clara gave him the capsules, that a cousin of a cousin promised a visa. If the problem solved itself, he said a name for the cousin. It matched the number in Clara's call log. It matched the bank transfer Miller's friend in compliance forwarded to Ifoma while the terrace was still pretending to be safe. Who else, Ifoma asked. Patrick swallowed. The supplier. He said our kitchen was perfect because we buy in bulk. He used to work in logistics for the Reed Foundation before he was fired for stealing cartons of milk. Jonathan's eyes hardened. Kenji, Patrick nodded. The twins leaned into Maria on the couch, their small bodies making a kind of shield she didn't know she needed. Sophia whispered, I kept smelling mommy when you held the spoon. Maria smiled through a throat that suddenly had rain in it. I think she smelled us all. Jonathan turned a page. There in Anna's script, a line waited like a light left on. If anything ever happens to me, keep a place at the table for a girl who folds leaves, not napkins. She will know what to do when I'm not there to say it. No one spoke for a long while. Hey, if you're still with us, don't watch in silence. Subscribe. Share this with someone who thinks their voice won't be heard in a big house. It will. We'll make sure of it. We're serving warrants before dawn, but danger doesn't sleep when we do. Keep the twins in one room tonight. Doors locked. No kitchen trips. Maria nodded. Nana nodded. I'll stay. Sophia curled toward him like a comma. Soft scrape at the door. Maria stood, spoon ready, heart ridiculous. Maria, Jonathan's voice whispering, It's me. She unlocked. He stepped in, hair damp, shirt untucked, the book under his arm. I read till my eyes hurt, he said. There are pages where she wrote our fights, and pages where she wrote our apologies. She was so alive she overflowed into paper. Maria smiled the way you do when somebody else's love is big enough to sit in a room with yours. She still is. He looked at the twins and then at her. They are eating again, they are laughing again. That began with you. It began when you listened, she said. He nodded, jaw working. When this is over, I want you to study, properly. If kitchens are where wars are fought, we will make ours a peacekeeping mission. Nutrition, safety, supply, honesty. I want you leading it. Her eyes stung. I'll do it if I can still cook on Tuesdays, he laughed softly. It's a deal. Footsteps burst down the hall. Miller again, breath sharp. They tried the service gate. Ifoma caught two. One ran. Kenji, Jonathan asked. Ran, Miller said, but not far. Morning arrived with handcuffs and forms. Clara wore silence like a suit. Patrick cried when he saw the twins wave goodbye to the ambulance that came only to reassure them the world sometimes arrives when called. Kenji was pulled from a taxi 2 streets away, his phone whimpering secrets it had kept for cheaper men. By noon, the head chef's whites were folded into a bag that would not return. Clara's office was a room again, not a nest. The pantry cameras blinked honest. Jonathan gathered the household on the terrace that now smelled of soap and salt. We nearly lost more than money, he said simply. We forgot that a house is a plate, and what you serve on it feeds more than hunger. From today, kitchen staff will be paid better, trained properly, and treated like the guardians they are. If anyone bullies anyone here, tell Maria.